So the very first thing again I want to stress is please do not go to the other session anymore, the old session. Every time I had to go back to check, and that really waste of time. Uh, in my uh, last class, another class today, I just went back to the old session, and it we and then I got the connection problem, and it took me 20 minutes to get back. You know, I tried multiple times, it didn't work, and then eventually it took me 20 minutes. So I don't want to waste time like this anymore. Um, so I'm not going to check the old session, the other room anymore from now on. So please do not go to the old session. Please join the new session. If you don't see me uh, at 3 o'clock, um, then please wait a little bit. Um, sometimes I do have some connection problem or internet problem. So so please just wait. Please uh, do not join the old session anymore. In any case, just wait if I'm not here, and then I will uh, you know uh, create a new session, and then you just join this. So that's the first thing I want to say, and I don't want to go back to check again. All right. So that's the very first thing, and then as you know, we got videos or lectures recorded every time now. So don't have to worry too much if you missed a little bit, or you got some problems, or you cannot hear me. Sometimes you get a little connection problem for internet, because you can watch the video later. Okay, and I'm going to put the slides in the content folder in Blackboard for each section when I complete the section, so you will not miss anything. And if you can access or sign, then you can also watch videos and read the ebook in so don't worry about that. So that's the first two things I want to say. And then the other thing is, please do not leave before I take the role. So every time uh, some people try to leave early before I take the role. Okay. Uh, uh, please wait until I take the role. If you're not sure, just ask me. Okay. So then you will not be missing in the road. And then there are a couple more things I want to say. The first thing is we're going to have a quiz on Friday. We are not going to have class on Friday, as I said before. We just meet every other class. That means we are not going to have class on Friday, and we're going to meet on next Monday. All right. So what you do on Friday is just do the quiz 2. We're gonna have quiz 2 on Friday, just like before. You do it yourself, and the quiz is again from 3 to 3:15. Starts at 3 and ends at 3:15. You're not gonna see the quiz before 3 and after 3:15. So you have to finish the quiz by before 15 and submit it. And also that means you need to get ready for Web and I have a lot of students. You got some problem, access or something. So I'm gonna do the steps in here again. Um, but let me tell you one more thing. Okay, I'm planning to have 2 tests before by midterm week. So that means we're gonna have the first test at the end of this month. Okay, so that's the test. Um, we have a quiz every week. All right. Um, so some people still got a problem accessing WebAssign from Blackboard. So although I wrote the steps in email, and then in like announcement in Blackboard, they still have problems. So let me just show you again the 5 steps that we do to access website from Blackboard. You do not worry about Cengage or anything at this point. We should have one more week, the next week, of the grace period working for free for you to use. So, so try to fix the website problem this week before you take the quiz on Friday. All right. So follow those 5 steps in here, and sometimes people have problems just because they don't follow the steps in here. You don't have to worry about anything else, just for these 5 steps strictly, and it should work. In case you do have some issues or any problem, that could be different for different reasons. Some people might have an account before, and then the system got a little confused. It doesn't allow you to get in WebSign or some other reasons. Then you have all the support in Cengage or WebSign using the number I gave you, and they will help you to fix it. Yeah, I cannot do anything on my part on that. Sorry about it. But they will help you to fix it. My experience is sometimes you might need to wait a little longer. I just spent a lot of time during the last few weeks to communicate with them. More than 5 hours on last Sunday. But then, not only that, okay, usually I have to go quite some too when I call them. So you be patient when you call them. You may not be able to pick the phone immediately, and you don't hang up. Just wait. You can do something else at the same time, and then then they will pick up eventually and resolve the problem for you. Every time I did that, that was always the case. Okay, they will pick it up. All right. So please be patient, no matter how long it takes, because you want your problem to be fixed, right? Okay. So that's that. Any questions at this point? I know we still got a problem when I cannot hear you. But they have not fixed it yet. The Blackboard Collaborate, they have not fixed the problem at the moment. So please type in if you get any questions about anything. And the quiz will be on 1.3, I think, polynomials. So that's the material in last week. Okay, typically the quiz of current week will cover materials of last week. So we did the polynomials on last week. I think it's 1.3, but double check it. Okay, so that's about the quiz. What will be in the quiz? Okay. All right. Yes. If you got any problem hearing me and the other people can, then you might need to double check your device, or you just leave the room and join the session again back, and it should work. Any questions so far at this point before we start the lecture? Okay. If you don't have any questions, then I'm going to start now. Okay, how to access website from Blackboard? 5 steps. Step 1, log in your university account via SSL. Okay, you know how to do that. Find the Blackboard and click on it. I guess you know it. And then step 3, find our course and click on it. You know that also. Step 4, you need to find the tools on the main menu on the top left of the page and then click on it. Tools is under some other buttons like announcements, information content, discussion or whatever. It is below those buttons, but it's easy to see when you log into the Blackboard and in our course. It's on the top left menu, okay, the main menu. So if you click on that, then you should see access website link. Okay, that's the link on the top left, the very first link on the page. And then you just click on that, then you should get in the website automatically in your account, which was created when I integrated Blackboard with website. It was created automatically. So you already have an account in website, that means. So now you should be in website and able to use this resource. Now you can watch the videos, you can read the ebook and use the other resources. Any questions about this website thing? Okay, as I said again, please, if you follow my steps strictly, you don't have to worry about anything about Cengage. You don't have account in Cengage even. It has nothing to do with Cengage at this point in here. So just follow the steps. If you still got some problem, then you might, you should call the support in Cengage on the website, and that could be for different reasons, as I said before. You might have an account before or whatever, and ask them to help you to fix it, and to be patient when you call them. They are very busy at this point. Just leave the phone calling and do something else at the same time, and will pick the call eventually and help you to resolve the problem. Don't hang up, please. All right, any questions? Any other questions? No questions. Then let's just start the new lesson today. So I'm going to show you the 1.5. So we did 1.3 last time. We're not going to do 1.4. So we're going to do 1.5. Inequalities. We talk about the quadratic equations. Yes, I think we talked about the quadratic equations in 1.3, right? I think that's quadratic equation. It's not the polynomials. If I say that, it was a quadratic equation. That will be what the quiz will be about. Okay, by the way. So we do 1.5 today, inequalities, and this might be a topic you didn't learn before. So let me just explain the inequalities. Okay. Inequality is something like A less than B or A greater than B, or sometimes you get the equal sign at the same time with the inequality, like A less than equal to B or A greater than or equal to B. So one of the properties of inequality is you can add any numbers or subtract any numbers on both sides of the inequality, and the inequality still holds. All right. You can also multiply or divide any number on both sides of the inequality, except for 0. Okay. If the number you multiply or divide to the inequality is positive, then the inequality still holds in the same direction. So if A is less than B and C is positive, C is greater than 0, and you multiply C on both sides of the inequality, you still get A times C less than B times C. But when the number you multiply is negative, if C is negative, then A less than B will become A times C greater than B times C. Okay, so the inequality switches the direction, reverses. All right. So every time when you multiply a positive number on both sides of the inequality, you still have the same direction of the inequality. But then when you multiply a negative number on both sides of the inequality, the inequality changes the direction. All right. So just do some simple examples to solve inequality. So in the first example, we need to solve the inequality for x minus 4 minus less than 7. Just like you do when you solve equations, you can add any numbers on both sides. So you add 4 on both sides, or move 4 to the right. So you get x less than 4 plus 7 plus 4, so that's 11. So the answer is x less than 11. So you don't get the specific number for the solution of inequality. Instead, you get another inequality, all right? Okay, in example 2, we want to solve the inequality 3x minus less than 12. So this time, it divided by 3 on both sides. So 12 by 3 is 4, so it becomes x less than 4. Because 3 is positive, that's the number you divide, and when you divide the positive number, you don't change the direction of the inequality, so it's still less than, all right? Now, the next example says negative 2x less than 6. This time you divide by negative 3. I don't know why I put the negative 3 here. That's some typo, okay? Divide by negative 2 on both sides, so we get x less than 6 over negative 2. Actually, greater. Okay, we need to reverse the sign. And the answer will be x greater than negative 3. Okay. So that's the answer. Okay. We got another typo in here. Any questions in here so far?
No.
Okay, no question. Then we just go to the next page. Okay. Page 2. Okay. Let's just solve one more problem. Solve the inequality 3x minus 5 greater than 16. So we can solve it by 2 steps. What you do, you're going to add 5 on both sides. So you get 3x on the right and 16 plus 5 on, 3x on the left. 16 plus 5 on the right, which is 21. And then you divide by 3. You get x greater than 7. 3 is positive, so you don't change the direction of the inequality. So this is the, but then you can use some other notations for the answer. Okay. So you can use set notation. Okay, the answer for the problem is x greater than 7. That's the inequality. So that's the answer. You can use this inequality notation, but you can also use a set notation for the answer. So what you do, you just put x and the vertical bar with x greater than 7, and everything is sandwiched in braces. Okay, that's called the set notation because you have a set denoted by the braces. All right, that's the set notation. If you use the interval notation for the answer, then you put 7 on the left and the infinity on the right, and then you put parentheses on both sides. Not on both sides, but the outside of it. So that means all the numbers between 7 and infinity, or everything greater than 7. Okay, so that's called an interval notation. It is an interval. And you can also use graphical representation for the answer notation. So as you can see from the graph, we have the left parentheses opening to the right, and that's where 7 is. Okay, in the middle is 0. I didn't mark the numbers here, but then you have an arrow pointing to the right starting from 7. That means all the numbers greater than 7 on the number axis. Okay, so that's the graphic notation representation. Any questions about this notation then? No question? Okay, let's just do one more example. Okay. We need to solve the inequality negative 4 times x minus 5 greater than or equal to 2x plus 15. Okay, so this time we get another inequality. We got the equal sign here, but the way to solve it is always the same, and all the properties are the same as before. So what we do this time, we need to simplify left a little bit before we do everything else. So distribute the -4 on the left. We got -4x plus 20. -4 times 95 is positive 20. And then you can, move 2x from right to the left and change sign. So that's minus 2x. And at the same time, move 20 to the right and change sign. So that negative 20. So we got 15 minus 20 on the right, and then you can combine terms on each side, like terms on each side. So we got negative 4x minus 2x, which is negative 6x. And on the right, the 15 minus 20 is negative 5. So they divide by negative 6 on both sides. And you do need to flip the inequality. So we got the x less than or equal to 5 over 6 instead of greater than or equal to, right? Okay, so that's the answer in inequality notation. If you want to use this set notation for the answer, then again you put the brace and then put the x and vertical, and then put the x less than or equal to 5 over 6. It should not be 7, right? Sorry about it. If you use this interval notation for the answer, then this time, okay. The answer for this inequality is all the numbers less than or equal to 5 over 6. So you're going to start from negative infinity to 5 over 6. So on the left, you put parentheses and then negative infinity. And then on the right, you put 5 over 6. But you do not use parentheses on the right. Instead, you use bracket because we get the equal sign in here at 5 over 6 on the right. And that means 5 over 6 is included in the solution set. We use bracket. That's the difference between the parentheses and the bracket. When we use parentheses, that means the end numbers and the points are not included in the set solution in the solution. When we use a bracket, that means the end point is in the in the solution, one of the solutions. Okay, and for the problem. Okay, if you want to use graphic notation or representation with the answer, then because the answer for the problem is all the numbers less than or equal to 5 over 6, then you're going to put the bracket at 5 over 6 in here, opening to the left because it has all the numbers less than you. Okay, 1 second. Okay, less than 5 over 6. So all the numbers on the left are 5 over 6, but including 5 over 6 itself. So we use bracket at the point of 5 over 6 on the number 9. All right. Why do we use the negative? Why the infinity is negative? Okay, because the answer for the problem is x less than or equal to 5 over 6. That means all the numbers less than or equal to 5 over 6 are the answer for this inequality. All right. So that means all the negative numbers are to negative infinity. Okay, when I wrote negative infinity, that means all the negative numbers. Okay, does that answer the question? We have negative infinity on the left and the positive infinity on the right. They basically mean all the numbers on the left and all the numbers on the right. Infinity is not a specific number. It's just notation to mean all the numbers on either side. Okay. Okay. Any more other questions? Any more questions? Okay. No question. Next. Okay, sometimes we got something like called the compounded inequalities. That means you have two inequalities at the same time to solve. So like in this example, we need to solve the compounded inequality of 2x minus 10 or x plus 1 greater than 9. So these are two inequalities in one problem. And then we need to combine the solutions of those two inequalities to get the final answer for the problem. So when you solve each inequality and combine the solutions, so from 2x minus less than 10, you just divide by 2, you get x less than 5. Okay, 2 is positive, so you don't change the direction of the inequality when divided by 2 on both sides. X plus 1 greater than 9, then you subtract 1 on both sides, so you get x greater than 8. So we got two solutions, x less than 5 or x greater than 8. All right, so remember that the original problem is 2x less than 10 or x plus 1 greater than 9. So that means both are the solutions for this problem. Oh, okay. So that means either one will work, right? Okay, so x less than 5 or x greater than 8. That means all the numbers less than 5 or all the numbers greater than 8 are the solution to this problem. So if you use set notation for the answer, then you need to combine these two sets. Okay, so the set notation for the first inequality is x less than 7. I don't know why I always put 7 here. So it should be x less than 5. Using the set notation, you use the braces and the x and the bar and the x less than 5, and then use union. So this u, capital U here means the union of these two sets. Okay. So the set is x greater than 8. Use this set notation. Okay. Each set notation represents a set of numbers, a family of numbers. You just take the union of them. That means you put all of the numbers together. Okay. So you can combine these two sets into one and write the two inequalities in one set. So you just put everything in the brace with the x vertical bar, x less than 5 or x greater than 8. All right? Any questions about this? Okay, this could be some new things for the notations. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Don't be frustrated. You need a little time to digest this. All right. If there's any more questions, we go to the next page. Okay, let's do another compounded inequalities. Okay, so again, we got two inequalities here. We need to solve for each and then combine the answer for them. So the first inequality is x plus 3 greater than 4. The second is 2x plus 1 greater than 15. Just like before, you can easily solve it, for each one. So x plus 3 greater than 4 is just minus 3 on both sides. You get x greater than 1. So that's the solution from the first inequality. And then for the second inequality, 2x plus 1 greater than 15, you subtract 1 first. You got 2x greater than 14, right? Subtract 1 on both sides. And then divide by 2. So you get x greater than 7, okay? So we got the two solutions, and then we combine them. Again, the original problem says x plus 3 greater than 4 and 2x plus 1 greater than 15. So after we solve each inequality, we got x greater than 1 and x greater than 7. So this time we got a different word and instead of or. Okay, remember the previous problem is or. Okay, now we got and they have a totally different meaning because when you say and, that means both conditions have to be satisfied. When we say or, any one of the conditions satisfied will be the solution. But when you say and, it means both inequalities, x greater than 1 and x greater than 7, must be satisfied at the same time. So we need to find all the numbers that are greater than 1 and greater than 7 at the same time. So this final answer for this problem is actually all the numbers greater than 7. Okay. When x is greater than 7, of course, it's greater than 1. But when x is greater than 1, it doesn't have to be greater than 7. Greater than 7. So you have to take the smallest set. Okay, the solution that satisfies both inequalities. So here we use a flip the u to mean the intersection of okay. So the first set is x greater than 1, and the second set is x greater than 7 in set notations. And you know, those are two families of numbers that you just take the common numbers between them. Okay, that the numbers they both have, and these are the numbers greater than 7. Okay, so x greater than 1 is larger than the set of x greater than 7 because like 2, 3, 4, 5 is in the first set but not in the second set. So you have to exclude those numbers. Does it make sense? So the final answer is all the numbers greater than 7. That will satisfy both inequalities. Okay. If you don't have any questions, I'll go to the next page. Let's do one more. Okay, this time the compounded inequality is written in another form. Okay, we just write the inequality, use less than equal to signs. We don't write into two inequalities with and or. In this case, we just write everything in one part like this, and you can also solve this inequality, like we did before. So what you do is you start from the original inequality 0 or 2x plus 6 greater than equal to 0 and less than equal to 54. Okay, by the way, that's how you read it. You read it from the center. Okay, 2x plus 6 greater than equal to 0 and less than 54. That's how you read it. So what you do first is to subtract 6 on every part of this inequality. So 0 minus 6 is negative 6. That's on the left. And in the middle, you get 6 minus 6, so that they cancel. So you're only left with 2x. On the right, 54 minus 6, you get 48. And then to solve it completely, you divide it by 2 to each part of this compounded inequality. So negative 6 over 2 is negative 3, and 2x over 2 is x. 48 over 2 is 20. So again, because we are dividing a positive number to each part of the inequality, we don't change the direction of the inequality. So it's still less than equal to both parts. But in case if you divide by negative number, then you have to flip both inequalities. Okay. So they will be become greater than equal to greater than equal to for both of them, if that were the case. Okay, but here we are not, so we keep the inequality like it was before. So this is the answer. So x greater than equal to negative 3 and less than equal to 24. Again, you read it from the center. X greater than negative 3 and less than equal to 24. So that means all the numbers between negative 3 and 24, including negative 3 and 24 themselves, because we have equal signs on both sides of the compounded inequality. And you can use set notation to write the answer as this. Just put braces, and then you could put the x and the vertical and put the inequality in there. So that's the answer for this problem. Any questions at this point? Nothing? Okay, let me just do it next. Okay, now let's talk about the absolute value inequalities. So this time we got a little more tricky situation. So let's just talk about the general absolute value inequality. So what does it mean by absolute value inequality? It means the variable x is in the absolute sign. So we got the absolute value of e less than or equal to k in here. Okay, in the first case. So we assume k is positive or 0. Okay. So this e, capital E, inside the absolute sign is a expression involving x. So it could be x, but it could be 2x plus 3 or whatever. And then you get some positive number k on the right. So if the absolute value inequality is absolute E less than or equal to k, it actually breaks up into a compounded inequality like this. E greater than or equal to negative k and less than equal to k. Okay. And in other case, if the absolute inequality or absolute value inequality is the absolute value of E is greater than or equal to k. Note the difference between these two. So this time we got the greater than or equal to k. Then it breaks up into two inequalities with or. So it's either E greater than equal to k equal to k or E less than equal to negative k. Okay, so this is a little different. And the following two examples should help you to understand these two types of absolute value inequalities. So let's try to solve the compound inequality or absolute value inequality. I don't know why I wrote the compound inequality. It should be absolute value inequality. Okay, of absolute value less than 5. So this will be the first case, less or less than equal to. So then it breaks up into one compounded inequality of -5. So in this case, k is 5. So E is just x. So that's the first case. So then we get -5 less than x less than 5. So that means x is greater than -5 and less than 5. All the numbers between -5 and 5, like -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, all those numbers between -5 and 5. Take the absolute value of those numbers, they will be less than 5, isn't it? Okay, so that's first example. In the second example, we need to solve the compound inequality of absolute value of x greater than 7. So that's the second case of absolute value of E greater than equal to k. So in this case, it breaks up into two inequalities, either E greater than equal to k or E less than equal to negative k. So we don't have equal sign here. So it breaks up into two inequalities of x greater than 7. So E is x and k is 7, or x less than -7. So you can double check it easily. X is greater than 7, like 8, 9, 10, 100. If you take the absolute value, obviously you get a positive number back. The same number, they are greater than 7. Or if x is less than -7, then you have, for example, -8, -9, -10. But when you take the absolute value of those numbers, you're going to get a +8, +9, +10, +900, 100, and they're also greater than 7, right? So that works. So any questions at this point? I guess it's already 3:50, so I'm not going to continue. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm going to stop here. Do you want me to finish these two examples or stop here? I can finish the problems here. Actually, if you don't mind. Is that okay? Let's stop here. Okay. We'll continue next time. Okay. So now, any other questions? Any questions? So no question, then just tell you again in case you missed. the first part. We're gonna have a quiz on Friday. We don't have a class on Friday. We'll meet again on next Monday. But you take a quiz 2 on Friday from 3 to 3:15. You're not gonna see the quiz before 3 and after 3:15. So make sure you do it, complete it, and submit before 3:15. But the first thing you need to do is to make website working. Use steps I showed today. Okay. If you do get some problems, then call the support and ask them for help and be patient when you call them. All right. So let me take the roll now before you leave. I don't want people to leave. Okay, please wait to me take the roll now. Okay, what's wait, question? Let me take the roll first. Okay, before I answer the question. I do not think you need more than 15 minutes. I'm going to stop the recording now.